is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are FC.
Brett Eibner, second Major League game with the chance.
Line, base hit right field. It was worth the wait for Brett Eibner. A stunning, absolutely stunning 7-run bottom of the ninth inning. And with that, on a beautiful day in Kansas City, the Royals are going for a 3-game sweep over the Chicago White Sox. Royals baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. Who would have thought that the come-from-behind win for the Royals on Friday when they were down by 4 runs would be just a footnote in this series?
Absolutely no one. Everybody can take a deep breath and exhale. We do have a third game, and it's going to be a fun game, but we never know what we're going to see. Guarantees going to be some excitement.
Greatest 9th inning comeback for the Royals in their 48-year history. Now, as soon as the game was over, immediately the attention was to how was Salvador Perez doing. He had a violent collision with Cheslor Cuthbert in the top of the 9th inning. Our University of Kansas Hospital injury report has some good news.
It is good, Rhino, but I tell you, at the K, you could hear a pin drop on cotton. People know how valuable Salvador Perez is to this entire city and organization, but fortunately, it's great news. Deep bone contusion, should be okay. Cuthbert's going to have to look up and see where he is next time.
Tony Cruz is called up from AAA Omaha, and you say, well, who's Tony Cruz? Well, Tony Cruz has been the backup for Yadier Molina with the St. Louis Cardinals the past few years, and he was in a battle with Drew Butera in spring training for the backup catcher role. And speaking of that, Yadier Molina went down, several Cardinals went down last year. Tony Cruz stepped up. The Cardinals won 100 games. So if the Royals win with some of these guys coming up from the minor leagues, don't be surprised.
Oh, no, you're exactly right. They're going to win. Believe me, the energy is unbelievable. It's contagious. But Cruz backed up Salvi's hero. That's right. This will be a good fit. Another low-risk, high-reward type of player Dayton Moore loves to acquire. Believe it, he'll work out.
And if you can't get enough of the 9th inning yesterday, we've got more when we come back. rally started yesterday with 1 out and nobody on.
Yep, and we've seen this how many times now the last 2-3 years? It's been exciting. A nice characteristic that Ned Yost has instilled in these young champions, the heart to never quit. They keep going and they keep going, and believe it, one little doinker turns into something big. Fun, exciting to see.
Greatest comeback in Royals history, down by 6 in the 9th inning. There's already a display in the Royals Hall of Fame, and Joel will take a look at that when we return.
Kid's a rock star.
In the Royals Hall of Fame, yesterday's moment is already a Hall of Fame moment, Joel.
Ryan, thanks. Overnight, Kurt Nelson and his staff hard at work, and here is the display. Brett Eibner's jersey yesterday. And look at the buttons. The top one he did have unbuttoned already, but the rest of them ripped off by his teammates. And this baseball, labeled now 4 score and 7 runs ago, that ball was in play for 3 straight hits, beginning with Merrifield's hit, and it led to 4 runs. So come on out here, check it out at the Royals Hall of Fame. And oh, by the way, don't leave early. You never know what you're going to see at the ballpark, as was the case yesterday.
You got that right, Joel. 2 great comebacks for the Royals in this series. And we should have a good pitching matchup today. We'll talk about Chris Sale, who's going up against Edinson Volquez when we come back. day in Kansas City after all that rain on Thursday and Friday. The Royals are going for a sweep over the White Sox, and to accomplish that, HUD, they're going to have to get past Chris Sale.
Well, it's not going to be easy, Rhino. The Royals know that. But the weight of the White Sox entire season could be hinging on a great outing by Sale. Arms and legs, great pitches. He's one of the best. What Sale will show up today at the K? Well, let's wait and see, but he's good.
And we'll see if the White Sox can bounce back. The Royals have won the last 5 season series with Chicago, and they're already 4-1 against the Sox this year. The lineups and the first pitch are coming up next. Royals baseball is brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket you play gives back to schools across Missouri, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. By Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit your MidwestFordDealers.com. It is a gorgeous day in Kansas City with a powder blue sky overhead. 84 degrees, light wind, and everyone's still buzzing about the Royals' come from behind victory yesterday. The greatest 9th inning come from behind victory in Royals history. And now Edinson Volquez, who's one of the best in the league at home this year, will take the mound for the 11th time, trying to turn yesterday's thrilling ending into a 3-game sweep.
Yeah, you know, the unfortunate part about baseball is that when the next day comes, you got to let go yesterday, and then it's what have you done for me lately? That's the way this game is. But certainly a game they'll never forget. Now Volquez has a chance to send the White Sox, who were reeling on to New York to face the National League champion Mets. If he can shut down that lineup, I believe they'll scratch a few runs off of Sale.
Adding to the frustration for the White Sox yesterday, they've really been struggling offensively for the past week and a half. They come up with 7 runs yesterday, and it's not enough for a victory. Well, look at the Royals defensively, presented by Ford. We'll see Brett Eibner in the outfield for the first time. He'll be in left field. Lorenzo Cain in center. Paulo Orlando in right. Chesler Cuthbert, Alcides Escobar, Whit Merrifield at second base, and Eric Hosmer around the horn, and Drew Butera will be the starter today. And Brett Eibner fits the Royals mold. He is not just a hitter. He can also play good defense.
Sure is nice to have athletic ability, especially with the speed. He's got a nice throwing arm on top of that. This young man can play anywhere in the outfield for Ned at any time. Another great young player, hopefully a great young player.
There's the crew chief, Ted Barrett. He'll call the balls and strikes. Ryan Blackney is at first. Angel Hernandez is at second. And Will Little will be at third. Edinson Volquez absolutely shut down the Chicago White Sox last year. So while the Royals are preparing to face Chris Sale, the White Sox know that they'll have their hands full. And Volquez's first pitch is taken for a strike.
I like that strike. Ted Barrett gave him right on the corner. Not a lot of guys have had success against Volquez. You mentioned, Rhino. Melky Cabrera, just the only hitter hitting over 300 in the lineup. 321. See that nice two-seam fastball that moves away from the lefties. That's a pitch that usually he'll get going down, and he'll induce some ground balls on that pitch. Changeup's been exceptional this year. It's only been hit for a home run one time, and that was by Jackie Bradley a couple of weeks ago. That goes down to lefties and into righties. And the curveball, he left it up.
Adam Eaton has done very little against the Royals so far this year, so he'd like to change that. And he's on with a game-opening single. Kia will put us in the driver's seat, and Edinson Volquez at home has been in the driver's seat. Only 4 other pitchers in the American League have a better home ERA than Edinson Volquez. So he's got that going for him. And last year against the White Sox, he made 5 starts, and his ERA was 1.64. White Sox never scored more than 2 earned runs against Volquez in any of those 5 starts.
Well, it's because he's a darn good pitcher. That's why. He's got good stuff. He challenges hitters. The only thing to watch for Edison outside of that 0-2 hanging curve, I mean, is his tempo. Keep an eye on his tempo. If it's quick and good, and he likes to pitch to contact, that's really what keeps those infielders on their toes. Nice quick tempo. Let Butera handle the running game. 29% percentage of throwing runners out in his career. That's a nice mark. So far he's just 1 for 2 is Butera throwing runners out.
Austin Jackson's had a good series. He has 5 hits in the first 2 games and a couple of runs scored. Adam Eaton is trying to time Edinson Volquez. He flinched on that pitch to Jackson, but didn't like his jump, so decided not to go. But he is revving his engine.
Some ball players like to get a walking lead. They can walk right into their jump.
Not a very threatening lead. And there he goes. Butera's throw right on the money. 1 down. I just pointed out, Hud, and it may have been a difference maker. That was not much of a lead at all. And that's probably what cost him. And Butera's throw, my goodness.
How about that? That's Salvi-esque. Got him by plenty. What great footwork, and coming right up and throwing a perfect dart to a Gold Glove shortstop, applying the tag. That was nice. That'll make Salvi feel good. Butera, decent jump. Didn't have a big enough lead though. I mean, that's special. Now he's 2 out of 3 and nailing base runners.
Full count on Austin Jackson.
Volquez's fastball so far early, he's only thrown a few of his 8 pitches, looks good. He needs to establish it. Go right after him. There you go. Keep that ball down there and get that pitch working for you. Obviously, pitchers of the Royals don't have to worry about the running game when you have catchers from the Royals that throw out 52% of base runners. That's best in Major League Baseball.
Still 3-2 on Jackson. This is most likely, even with the pitching matchup, not going to be a 1-0 game, but 1 run for Chicago in the first inning would have been huge for them. Just do something positive right away to try and erase in their minds what happened yesterday. But Eaton is caught stealing. Jackson is caught looking. And now 2 outs and nobody on.
He pulled out the yacker, the nice little yellow hammer. 3-2. He thought a fastball was coming. It locked him up knee high. Jackson, you got to go.
And now Todd Frazier. Low strike. 0-1. Frazier talks it over with Ted Barrett. Probably says, you know what, Ted? I'm in favor of the proposed strike zone changes for next year.
That's right. That pitch down there, hitters don't like it.
And because of that pitch, Frazier probably feels like he has to swing at that one.
And the reason they don't like it is because they have to do more work to lift it to get it through the infield to get a base hit. Ball stays down. That's what the pitcher wants. Volquez has said many a time he has strikeout ability, but he prefers pitching to contact. It saves his pitch count.
Up the middle, Merrifield is there. So Volquez works around the leadoff single, faces only 3, throws just 14 pitches. No score to the bottom of the first. Sunny day with a big crowd watching the series finale between the Royals and the White Sox. Whit Merrifield continues to bat second. He'll be at second base. Kendrys Morales missed 3 games. He's back as the designated hitter. Brett Eibner will be in left field today, and Drew Butera is back at the plate. All to face 27-year-old left-hander Chris Sale, who is 9-1. Our Toyota League leaders. Sale is tied with Jake Arrieta, the other ace in Chicago, with 9 wins for the major league lead. Sale also is 3rd in the American League in ERA. He has the best opponent's batting average in the American League and the 5th most strikeouts. Outside of that, he's just another guy.
Well, the Royals know this guy well. He is an outstanding pitcher. Fastball, slider, changeup, mainly fastball, slider, and it's coming from a lot of different arm angles and a lot of arms and legs. Tough to pick up. Excellent changeup. Now, he doesn't use it all the time. He saves it for when he needs it. It's a beauty.
There's the slider.
Now, you look at the Royals' numbers against Sale in their career. Most of them are all like this. I mean, look at that, 52 at-bats. Eske gets another hit.
Saladino close and out.
That looked like a hit to me. I'm sorry I was rooting a little bit there, Ryan.
That's right. Looked like a hit from up here, too.
Wow. Nice play, Saladino. Eske better find somebody else to hit it to. That guy's taken a couple of Escobar's hits this year.
And on more than one occasion in Escobar's first at bat.
Look at that. The ability to throw on the run like that off your right leg takes a lot of athleticism. Sale's not as overpowering as he once was. His velocity's been down from last season. He still averages 92, and with those arms and legs and that arm angle, his 3 pitches makes him tough to square up.
Whit Merrifield is 4 out of 9 in this series with 4 RBIs, which has happened to be his first 4 major league runs driven in. Slow breaking ball. And a lot of times when we talk about a pitcher and his velocity is down, sometimes it can serve as a red flag. But for Chris Sale, many believe is a more complete pitcher this year, relying less on his fastball and mixing up all of his pitches. So velocity is down, but effectiveness has increased. Strikeouts are down, but most importantly, pitches per inning are down, so he's pitching deeper into games and is truly one of the elite pitchers in the American League early in this 2016 season.
Sure is. Sometimes those pitchers that once threw hard or even tougher, once they take a little off and they figure out they can use their defense. Pitch to contact. Changing speeds off of his slider. He's got a tight one and he's got a slow one. And Merrifield doing a nice job. He's never faced him before. See as many pitches as you can.
Close. Merrifield is giving Sale a battle. This is Whit's first career at bat against Chris Sale.
Now at 92, does Sale say 3-2? Here it comes. I'm challenging you, young player, or does he try to finesse him?
Fastball, base hit left field.
Saladino saved a base hit off from Escobar, or else it'd be first and second. Sale in trouble already. He's hit now in all 8 starts. Whit Merrifield. Look at that. Picks up his leg. He doesn't load his hips like some of the other players do. He's a little bit like Paulo Orlando. Just picks up that front foot and sets it down. Good timing.
Inside to Lorenzo Cain.
Well, like I said, just looking up on the numbers, they don't lie. 3 homers.
That'll be out of play. here are some more numbers for you with the Royals against Sale. The Royals hit .377 as a team last year against Chris Sale. So that's last year. In his career as a starter, the Royals have hit .271 against him. The rest of the American League has hit a collective .218. Abreu into foul ground, coming up on the dugout suite, and it hits the railing. Home field advantage. Abreu not aware of that corner. If he had taken a little different angle and went around that corner, he's able to make the catch.
The way the White Sox have been going, him not catching that ball, it's going to hurt him. You give a guy like Lorenzo Cain with those kind of numbers another shot, they might wish they had made that play. But look, that's a tough catch. He's right on the corner there. Wasn't anything he didn't do.
But if you know that corner a little better, you know the corner's coming and you can get to the outside of it, right?
You're right. He looked like he had time to see it and then look up because it was a high pop-up. He had time to get himself in good position. But like I said, maybe it'll come back and hurt him.
Cain, well hit center field. Jackson is back and it's over his head. Merrifield to third. He'll be waved home. Relay. 1-0 Royals. So we go back to the pop-up. An adjustment of maybe 7 or 8 inches in pursuit of that pop-up, and Lorenzo Cain is out. Instead, he has an RBI double.
And I mean, he hit a week's worth of laundry from the Goldberg family on that one.
Now it's the whole family.
It's the whole family. And Merrifield, the track meet is on. This young man, that's his best tool, his speed. No problem.
And now Hosmer. And Hosmer hits it into left center field. Cain stumbled as he approached third base, but he will still score. Eric Hosmer was 4 for 5 with a walk last year against Chris Sale. And with his first pitch against Sale in 2016, he drives in a run.
And this pitch was a good pitch by Sale. He thought it was 3 inches down, and on the inside part, the inside out swing has been lethal from Hosmer as he picks up Cain, who had a little bit of a slip going into third base, but didn't phase him one bit, and Sale's in trouble already.
And we welcome back Kendrys Morales to the lineup. Eric Hosmer, by the way, that is his 11th career hit against Chris Sale. That's the second most of any left-hand batter against Chris Sale. Who's number 1? Alex Gordon.
Wow, it's amazing how they have not only Sale's number, but his ball club's number too. At least after the last few years.
1-2 on Morales. Been out with a sprained right middle finger. Ned Yost said before the game today, the sprained finger and Kendry's troubles on the left side of the plate are not related. And I even asked him directly, I said, I don't want to read too much into this, but he's back in the lineup a day sooner than Ned wanted, hitting right-handed. So was that his problem from the left side? He said, I wish it was, but it's not. There's no connection. But with some banged up players, Ned had to put him back in there today. And he hits that well to center field. Jackson is back and makes an amazing catch. Hosmer has to retouch. The White Sox have a chance for a double play. And Abreu with a great stretch does turn it into a double play.
If it wasn't for Sale's defense, this game could already be over. Great plays. Unbelievable. Jackson, I didn't think he had a chance.
start of the season on Tuesday against Cleveland. He gave up 6 runs in 3 1/3 innings, and now the Royals nail him for 2 in the first inning today. Kane and Hosmer driving in the runs, and then Sale was saved by his defense. Austin Jackson made a fantastic play in center field, and then made a good throw to Saladino, the shortstop, who had very little time to set his feet and get it to Abreu, who went into the splits. All of that for an inning-ending double play. There's a breaking ball strike from Volquez to Melky Cabrera.
It's the only White Sox with an average over 300 in their lineup today against Volquez lifetime.
Big hop out to Merrifield. 1 down in the second inning. And that'll bring up Jose Abreu. Royals are off to a good start against the White Sox again. They've won the last 5 season series. They are 4-1 against Chicago this year, and a lot of that has to do, or at least some of it, with the way they pitched to Jose Abreu. He is 1 for 15 against the Royals this year. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Game of baseball is hard to tell, but you know, certain teams have a dominance over other teams, and we're seeing it here in the last couple of seasons at the Royals and the White Sox. And it's a good thing for the Royals when they're in your division and you're taking care of business in your own division.
Broken bat and a base hit in front of Eibner. So Abreu's second hit of the year against the Royals is a broken bat single with nobody on base.
Change up down on the outer half. Stayed on top of it.
And another warm welcome for Brett Lawrie.
Oh well. Fans don't forget easily, and mainly the players don't either.
Now Drew Butera is going to go out and have a chat with Volquez. We remind you, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Brett Eibner makes his first big league start in the field. All that he's accomplished in his first 2 big league games, and he's done that as a designated hitter. Dave Holtzman, our stats producer, did some exhaustive research. Brett Eibner, if you go back to 1974, when they kept track of stats like this, is the only rookie on record to have 2 hits in an inning, with one of them being a walk-off hit. He is the only player, rookie or otherwise, to do that since 1997. So it's not just rare for someone in his second big league game. That's rare for anybody to have a 9th inning like he had yesterday.
It's a miracle run for that young man so far, man, and he's enjoying every bit of it. But the thing that's important about a guy like that, after having exceptional games to start your career, slow everything down. Take a few deep breaths, and he's able to do that. We talked about that in that at bat last night as he fouled off pitch after pitch. Good spot. And Drew Butera went out to talk to Volquez, saying, hey, look, let's just stay down in the zone, conserve the pitch count, roll him up and do a 6-4-3.
Base hit center field. Abreu is going to round second and go to third. That ball was not hit hard, so it was a long run in for Kane. And now the White Sox have runners at the corners with 1 down.
Okay, certainly nothing Volquez did wrong there. He got the ground ball. Laurie, give him some credit for keeping his hands close and not trying to pull it. If he tries to pull that, it's a double play. There's the difference when we talk about staying inside the ball and going to the opposite field. Keeps you away from that pitcher's best friend. It's a good piece of hitting.
And now the catcher, Deoner Navarro. He has grounded into 2 double plays so far this year, and certainly would be a double play candidate.
White Sox hitters, their offense, they're going to have to step up today if they can. It's not easy hitting an established world champion like Volquez, but they're going to have to find a way to help their team and help Sale and their bullpen get through this one. Find a way somehow.
2-0 on Navarro. Navarro was the Game 1 starter and was 1 for 4 with a run scored. It's easy to forget Friday night because of what happened yesterday, but the Royals were down 5-1 in Game 1 and scored 1 in the 6th, 4 in the 7th, and 1 in the 8th. Two balls and 1 strike. Two and two.
Avisail Garcia on deck just breathed a sigh of relief as that ball went whistling right by him.
And that would have been partly his fault. Look at how far away he is from the on deck area. I mean, he's put himself in harm's way.
I mean, there's no time to react.
Ground ball, fair. Navarro gets it in between Hosmer and the line. Abreu scores and Lowry goes to third. So Volquez got the ground ball. He got a ground ball in the area of a Gold Glove winner, but Navarro was able to get it up the line.
Yeah, you know, he stayed on top of it. Tommy hawked that down the line. Haas had no chance. In order to beat Volquez, you're going to have to get some big hits with runners in scoring position, and Eddie's been pretty stingy in that department this year. He can execute his pitches when he wants to.
The White Sox last weekend in Chicago, they had 1 hit the whole series with a runner in scoring position. It ended up being a game-winning hit a week ago today, but 1 hit in the entire series, and now they have 6 in this series, including the one just delivered by Navarro. 1-0 on Avisail Garcia. He homered in yesterday's game. Navarro got the greatest jump in the history of his career, and if Volquez had recognized that, the Royals could have gotten it out in between first and second base, but Navarro and Volquez maybe had a split second there to back off the rubber and get him.
Yeah, but you know what? Volquez wasn't thinking about Navarro at all. But so credit Navarro. That's a good bag.
Pretty good jump for a catcher.
Ha! You better believe that for anybody. That was just smart. Keeps him out of the double play and a chance for them to tie it up here.
He thought about it. Saved by Butera. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And I think Navarro figured that that was all or nothing, that jump, because at the rate the Royals catchers are throwing runners out, he says, you know what, I'm not going to give them a chance to throw me out. I'm going about 2 seconds early. That's the only way you can rip a bag off the Royals.
Got him. So he came back with the pitch. Slider down and away. He got Garcia to flinch at it the pitch before, and that's a big strikeout for Volquez.
Okay, he's on the side of that ball. That means one thing. A breaking pitch, and hitters say, you dirty rat. Those are hard to hit.
And the batter is Tyler Saladino, who's already had an impact defensively today. Made a good play up the middle on Alcides Escobar, taking a hit away from him in what eventually would become a 2-run inning for the Royals.
Escobar, the shortstop out there, Alcides, I guarantee you he's saying, hit it to me, to my left or to my right, so I can rob you. That's a competitor's mentality here at this level.
Got it in on him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Who does he remind you of with that
I want to say
mustache?
Samurai swordsman.
Yeah, I was gonna say he looks like a villain in a Bruce Lee movie,
right?
Doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
One of our replay operators, Nick Danzo, who apparently has young children like I do, said it looks like Splinter from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle series. And he's right. It does look like Splinter.
And
who looks like a villain from a Bruce Lee movie.
All right, so back when we were at their place, I had a chance to talk to him about his stash, and I said, you know, that little bottom part of the mustache, can you bend it up and make a handlebar out of it? He says, not yet. It needs to be a little bit longer. But he had a big smile on his face, and he knows that he's a subject to ribbing.
That's a better look. Now, at any point in your conversation with him, did you ask him why he wanted to do that?
I did not. I don't
Okay.
have the journalist skills of others, but
okay.
It's probably a question.
That's not too probing of a question.
I wouldn't think so.
Okay.
I'll find out.
Good pitch. Saladino laid off of it.
Saladino has a lot of confidence, this young man. He's a lot like the Royals' young players. You give him an opportunity. He made the team coming out of spring training, as he's been up and down the last couple of seasons, and he says, you know what? It's my turn to step up. It's been a tough out.
Good job to make contact.
He's just staying alive.
.25 pitches for Edinson Volquez in this inning after just 14 to get through the first inning. Three and two. Adam Eaton is on deck.
You know, Navarro feeling pretty froggy and a little fresh out there at second base after getting that huge jump. He's coming all the way on a secondary lead, almost to the shortstop position, because he knows on a base hit he wants to score. I like him. He's aggressive out there. He's getting a big lead. It's going to take a special place ball to score him, but so he knows he's got to get a little extra jump. And he's getting a huge secondary lead. I like that. Guy's confident. I'm looking around, saying no one's near me. I'm going to get a jump here.
Shallow left center field, and Kane is there. So Volquez really buckles down. The White Sox get a run, but they had runners at second and third with 1 out. And Volquez holds them to that 1 run. Sports is proud to team up with merging vets and players dedicated to ensuring our nation's Warriors can be as productive off the field as they were on it by joining combat veterans with former athletes to form a common bond over dedication and teamwork. Visit foxsportsupports.com to learn more. And that right after a nice standing ovation as the Royals, before the bottom of the second, every home game, support a local military hero. And big crowd here today, if not a sellout, right on the edge of a sellout, and a loud ovation as that acknowledgement has a little more meaning during this Memorial Day weekend. Paulo Orlando with an 11-game hitting streak.
Second longest hitting streak in the league now. Is it Bogart? Or no, Mookie Betts?
Xander Bogaerts, yeah.
Either
Jackie
one
Bradley Jr.'s is over at 29.
Those guys, all three are on the same team, by the way.
Royals took 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox. Remember, the Red Sox were white hot offensively when they came to Kansas City. They had just come off of a homestand, a 7-game homestand where they averaged 10 runs. Good breaking ball from Sale, and that's his first strikeout to get Paulo Orlando. And now 1 down in the second inning. And speaking of a nice run offensively, our Kubota Power Stats shows us what the Royals have done over their last 5 games. 3 games in the Minnesota series and the 2 games in the Chicago series. The Royals are averaging 7.4 runs per game and hitting just under 350 with runners in scoring position.
Offense has come alive. Now Sale, he's starting to mix it up a little bit more, using more slider and curveball combinations. I'm going to call it a curveball too. One of them looks tight like a slider. The other one has more depth to it, and it's not thrown as hard.
And good approach right there to a young player like Brett Eibner. I'm sure Eibner's thinking about that fastball, and he's going to come right after me. I'm just in my 3rd big league game, and Sale instead goes with 3 consecutive breaking balls against him.
And did you hear the ovation Eibner got when he stepped in? It took me 5 years of playing to hear just a smattering of applause for me. That's outstanding, this kid. He's already got a little rock concert going on.
1 ball and 2 strikes, a 10-pitch at bat, leading to the first walk-off hit in his career. 2 hits in the inning. Remember, it was his double to right that Adam Eaton lost in the sun. And if Eaton was able to see that ball, Cuthbert would have been at first base with 2 outs. But the double really got the inning going. Then a walk to Infante, a walk to Escobar, Merrifield's 2-run single, and the Royals are off and running as Eibner pulls it foul. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes.
9th inning, 2 hits by the same player. Hadn't been done many times. And look at this. He lost in the sun. Now he comes up, the K on their feet, and those people who stayed, oh, were they treated to a unbelievable comeback. Historic. And now Eibner milking pitches from Sale after being down 0-2, seeing as many pitches as he can. Man, this kid is locked in.
That's to the gap in left center field. Melky Cabrera was playing the gap. Eibner's digging for 2, and he's out.
Oh, but a good, nice effort. Second outfield assist by Melky, who stepped up to the challenge of the rookie Eibner, saying, I can beat you.
Royals are going to take a look at it. Eibner, being a rookie, is doing the right thing and just jogging back to the dugout. And Ned Yost comes out and says, wait a minute, let's take another look at it.
Oh, you know what? Usually with 2 outs, that's exactly what you want a kid to do. And now, if it's to lead off the inning, you back off, you stay there. But there was just 1 out.
And with a guy like Sale on the mound, you want to take a chance for another 90 feet, right?
Yeah, I looked up and I saw the 2 outs, but that's including his out there. But look, this is a way to go to keep riding the momentum of your young, great start. Look at the slide. Let's see if he got his hand in there. He did, but we'll see. Look at him with his hair on fire. Outstanding attempt. And the crowd thoroughly entertained on the most beautiful jumbotron there is in baseball. Straight away center field. You can see a gnat's eyelash from up there.
Clear and convincing?
I think so. You think with that super slow motion that his hair's not on fire? Look at it. Playing with energy, and a renewed energy with the Royals having lost 3 All-Stars in 1 week. See it again. We'll show it to you.
Does he stay on the bag the whole time? Well, he came off, but had Laurie disengaged with his tag when he came off. There's a lot to look at for the umpire back in New York.
So in the meantime, Sale's out there. The rest of his teammates on a nice hot day. I mean, that's not a cool day. It's a hot day out today.
He's out. Well, I'm with you. He looked safe, but man, clear and convincing is. It always seems like it's got to be absolutely obvious. Wow, call is confirmed. Now, I don't know if I agree with that. I could see the call stands, but unless they're going to say that he disengaged with the base, because I didn't see an angle, unless the umpire in New York had one. I didn't see an angle that showed me that he was definitely out. Now, I don't know if I saw one that said he was definitely safe. It looked like he was safe, but call confirmed.
Well, but when you brought to our attention, did he stay on the base? That's when it looked like he was off the base. Maybe we'll get a better explanation from the pros.
Chesler Cuthbert pulls it foul. Down to the count. No balls, 2 strikes.
Didn't get a chance to talk to Chesler Cuthbert today, but I'd like to tomorrow. About, you know, when you come in from third base on a pop-up like that, wondered why he didn't even look down, because a play in front of you like that, if you're a third baseman, you're going to look at the ball and look at the catcher, and Salvi clearly was calling it. I just want to get it from him on what he heard or why he didn't take a second glance down.
Well, if time permits, Joel had that conversation with him.
Oh, good. That's Goldberg. He's all over it.
Sale gets a strikeout. He strikes out 2 in the inning. The big play was the throw from Cabrera to get Eibner at second base.
Cuthbert back out at third base. Obviously a tough day for him yesterday. And talking to him this morning, he said he was running in. Salvi was calling it. He didn't hear it until the last minute. Last minute, he tried to bail out of the way, and he just couldn't get out in time, guys. But he said a little bit of a sore quad for him after the game. Felt fine this morning. Most importantly, he said Salvi told him after the game, look, it's part of the game. Don't worry about it. I'm going to be okay. And since the news was good, that gave Ned Yost a chance to rib Cuthbert today by telling him Andy Reid called wanting to know if he could play special teams, but then said, actually forget about it because they're worried he might collide with someone calling for a fair catch.
Thanks, Joel.
Two balls and one strike on Adam Eaton. He singled leading off the game and then was caught stealing.
Strange, though, with this, we haven't seen collisions here, fortunately, for a couple of years. And now, just a few here in a short couple weeks.
All right, we got the email from the league. After viewing all relevant angles, not to be confused with
Irrelevant,
the replay official definitively determined that the batter runner failed to maintain contact with second base as the fielder was applying the tag. So that's where the call was confirmed. Base hit into center field, so Eaton is 2 for 2. So I would bet a lot of your money that Angel Hernandez did not call Brett Eibner out for coming off the bag. I'll bet he called him out thinking that he was tagged out. But the replay official, and we've seen this happen a few times in replay, that they see the play all the way through, because I was stunned when it was call confirmed. So that helps Angel Hernandez with his call. But I think the original replay challenge, or the origin of the replay challenge, sure looked like Eibner beat the original tag.
but as you pointed out, after looking at it a couple of times, you could see he was off the base. That's the beauty of instant replay in baseball. It's designed to work and get the calls right.
Austin Jackson struck out looking in the first inning. On the ground to Cuthbert. Tough hop. Out at second. And a double play.
Money. Steady Eddie. Pitch into contact. Cuthbert, tough play. He's able to handle it. Throws a dart across the diamond. Merrifield showing some nice turning skills. Going and getting it. That cuts down the time. That's a proper turn right there, folks. Third ball hit to the third baseman. Second baseman come across the bag and get it. It cuts down the time to turn it over to first. Fundamentally sound.
Up and into FRAZIER. He grounded out to second base in the first inning. Changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, and it's not like Eaton and Jackson are slow runners either.
2 balls and no strikes, not 1 and 1. Changeup. Todd Frazier has 1 hit so far in this series, and that 1 hit was a home run on Friday night. 15 home runs ties him for the league lead with Mark Trumbo, and that pitch was very close. 3 balls and 1 strike. Todd Frazier right now has more home runs than any White Sox third baseman combined last year and the year before that. How about that in that power position. White Sox third baseman hit 13 home runs last year and 11 in 2014. He didn't want to swing. It was an afterthought. And he's down with a strikeout. So for the second time in 3 innings, the White Sox get the leadoff man on and still only send 3 to the plate.
Roll it over, ham and eggs on a Sunday afternoon.
For the third inning, 2-1 Royals. He is our most trusted player, brought to you by Honda. His only at bat yesterday, a game tying 2-out RBI double. And Drew Butera has 5 hits for the Royals this year, and 4 are doubles.
Clutch performance there off of Tommy Kahnle, a young hard thrower. Comes in throwing 99 miles an hour. We were talking about, hey, look, if you stay short with your swing and just try to put it in play like the Royals are known for, good things can happen. And he did. He choked up on the bat and he got that big hit.
So he'll be sharing the catching duties for the next week to 10 days, the Royals think, with Tony Cruz, who was called up from AAA. And I say the Royals think. That's the estimated timetable for Salvador Perez to recover from the contusion. There's Tony Cruz. Maybe a little sooner, maybe a little later. But I think we all agree that Salvador Perez is in the best medical hands in baseball.
Without a doubt.
Tony Cruz was Yadier Molina's backup in St. Louis. Chris Sale strikes out his third. 1 down in the bottom of the third inning. Remember, you can still bid on the game used and autographed jerseys and hats from the Royals Salute to the Negro Leagues game with the Atlanta Braves. All proceeds benefit the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. To place your bid, visit royals.com/NLBM.
Royals would have had a couple more runs in the first inning if it wasn't for Saladino and Jackson. Shortstop and center fielder making 2 fantastic plays. One was on Eske.
1-1 on Escobar. This is his second at bat against Chris Sale. Royals came up with 2 runs, 4 hits first time through against Sale. So second time through, he is at his best, at least in his prior starts this year. Look at that. Never a 200 opponent's batting average, first, second, or third time through the order. Adam Eaton goes into a slide, but not close. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chris Sale is 7-9 in his career against the Royals. Also has a couple of saves. When he starts a game against the Royals, his team has a losing record, 7-8. On the ground to Abreu. He'll take it himself, and there are 2 down. So with all due respect to Chris Sale, and he deserves it, he's one of the elite pitchers in the league, and you always say you're going to have your hands full facing Chris Sale. Well, Chris Sale in his career has had his hands full facing the Royals.
The Royals, they're a different style offense. There's some teams that have table setters and power hitters to clean up the table.
Merrifield line drive, dive, and a catch by Eaton in right field. Merrifield that close to another multi-hit game, and Sale, even though it was a bit noisy, has his first 1-2-3 inning.
Nice catch. Royals up 2-1. A really nice game. Congratulations to the Topeka Seaman Lady Vikings, 5A Kansas State champion softballers. Man, great job, head coach Jay Mahalan, and assistants Kelsey Schaefer on a great battle. Girls, way to go. Had a chance to talk with them via FaceTime the other day in Minnesota, give them a little pep talk, saying they lost a tough championship last year. The girls wanted a shout out. I said, only if you win a state title. There's your shout out. Congratulations, ladies. Great job.
Kelsey Schaefer, by the way, is Dave Holtzman's sister-in-law.
That's right. You know how important a teammate Holtzy is to us.
Nice grab. Look at that young fan.
Not surprised.
Brought his glove. Why? Because he's got red hair?
That's exactly right. We need more redheads.
He came jumping out of his seat to make that play, and that ball was hit hard.
Well,
nice work.
Brought his glove today. He was ready for action.
On the ground to Merrifield. You know what I liked about that effort from that young guy?
Tell me.
Not only did he make the play, tough play, and we'll look at it again. Look at, jumps out of his seat. Nice catch. But instead of going bananas, throwing his arms in the air, I mean, he acknowledged it, but he sits down, ready for the next one.
Yeah.
He got back in that same pose like he's ready for the next play. Heck of a catch. Is that a White Sox jersey he has on?
Didn't catch that, but one heck of an effort there. Nice catch.
Jose Abreu with 1 out in the 2nd inning singled and scored the White Sox run on a Deoner Navarro single. Hot shot, Cuthbert on the money to Hosmer. Man, have a game defensively. Chesler Cuthbert
stays low to the ground like most third basemen, and a top spin liner like that in between hop, that's just a do or die. I hope the glove's in the right situation. It was, and he turned that ball into a marshmallow. Nice play. Rusty Kuntz in the background acknowledging that outstanding pick by Cuthbert. Rusty, you know he's yelling. Look, it's exciting. Guy's been around the game a long time, and you get that kind of energy from him.
Rusty has such a passion for young players, and he has been trying. You don't hear this very often, but he has been trying to go back to his roots and be a roving minor league coach for the Royals. Go back into AAA and AA and help prepare the next wave of Whit Merrifields and Brett Eibners and Chesler Cuthberts. But he is just simply too valuable at the major league level, and not only as a technician, as a coach, but I think maybe just as importantly, Hud, his energy. I mean, Rusty's human and has bad days, I'm sure, but I don't know if I've ever visibly seen Rusty Kuntz having a bad day.
Hawk make a play on that. And there he is, surrounding himself there, Rusty, with Kansas City's finest.
Three and two on Brett Laurie. He singled to center field his first time up. He looks like he's ready for some sort of gladiator competition. Brett Laurie.
He's prepared.
Right?
Yep.
Or a BMX competition.
Hey, he's a baseball player. Believe it. High energy. May not like some of his antics, but guy shows up every day. Watch it.
Alcides Escobar says, oh yeah, watch this play.
Gold on gold crime happens very regularly here, from the Gold Glover Escobar to the Gold Glover Hosmer. Routine.
2-1 Royals to the bottom of the fourth. It's been a defensive clinic so far, both sides. The White Sox, by the advanced numbers, have not had a good defensive series leading up to this one, but they made some big plays today, as have the Royals. It'll be Cain, Hosmer, and Morales in the bottom of the fourth. Lorenzo Cain doubled to center field, just beyond the reach of Austin Jackson in the first. He drove in Merrifield and then scored, and then Jackson made a great play 2 batters later against KENDRYS Morales. Otherwise, this could be a 3-1 or 4-1 Royals lead.
But before that, when Lorenzo was up, he hit what looked like was going to be an out. And Abreu, the first baseman, just let it glance off of his glove. And, you know, when that happens sometimes with a hitter like Cain and his track record against Sale, it ended up costing him. Next pitch, a laser liner over Jackson's head and center. Scored the Royals' second run.
And suddenly Lorenzo Cain is hitting .291. Just a bit outside. Thank you, Bob Uecker. Let's see, does it register anywhere? Just barely. Missouri Lottery Fox Tracks.
Odd off-speed pitches to Locaine. Good pitch. Man, that backdoor breaking ball is working now with Sale. Ooh, man, that's pinpoint. And it's a tough one for a righty. It starts way outside arm. It's 3 feet off the plate. By the time it crosses the dish on the outside part, it's a strike.
High slider to Hosmer. Hosmer on the first pitch he saw from Sale in the first inning, single to left center field, driving in the Royals' second run. And Hosmer goes the other way again, and that drops in for a base hit. "12 career hits for Eric Hosmer against Chris Sale. And of all the left-hand batters who have ever faced Chris Sale, only Alex Gordon has more than Eric Hosmer.
Yeah, coming in this year, left-handers facing Chris Sale, just 146 average, 6 for 41. But look at those numbers. And you wonder why the White Sox are letting Haas do his thing. First base open last night in the 9th inning. They elected to pitch to him. First base was open when he knocked in the second run today of the Royals, and they pitched to him. He's beat him both times.
Of all the great defensive plays we've seen so far today, the play of the game is the one that Jackson made on Morales in the bottom of the first inning, which resulted in 2 outs. And it took 3 White Sox players making good plays to get the 2 outs. 2 balls and 1 strike, but it all started with Jackson in center field.
And I didn't think he'd catch this. Look at right over his head. Took a perfect route. Hits the cutoff man on the fly. Saladino, a windmill of a throw. Great stretch by Abreu. You're right. Every single guy had to be perfect.
You know, watching that replay too, it was subtle, but Austin Jackson took 1 extra beat to get his feet underneath him and make a good throw. He didn't make the catch and turn around and make a wild throw. Slowed him down just a little bit, but he made up for it with a strong, accurate throw.
And that's important from 410 feet away, straight center field. Now, left and right fielders can get away with getting rid of it quickly, but you got a long throw there. Look at him. He gathers, throw hops. Didn't take that long when he threw a dart. And Saladino, watch this. He's on the run again. This kid's showing some athleticism of his own. Got him just barely.
Don't expect a man that big to be able to stretch like that.
Oh.
That was painful just to watch it. First walk allowed by Sale. 2 on, 1 out to Paulo Orlando. Inside, Paulo struck out on a slider in the second inning.
Well, if you want somebody up with the right man, right spot, this is him. Paulo Orlando, 476, almost hitting 500 with a runner out there in scoring position.
One and one. Paulo is driven in 7 in his career against the White Sox, the most for him against any team. And that's his original team.
It's almost amazing to see during this nice streak Paulo's in, him fouling and missing balls. He normally doesn't miss them. He squares them up and puts them in play. But against Chris Sale, who struck him out in his first time up. Watch out for that backdoor breaker. Stayed firm.
2 strikeouts in the inning and 5 in the game for Sale.
And that's maybe what Paulo was thinking here. And when you think breaking ball and you get a heater, you miss it.
All swinging third strikes. And it brings up Brett Eibner. Eibner hit a single to left center field in the second inning. He tried to stretch it into a double and was thrown out by Melky Cabrera. So he is 4 for 9 to begin his big league career. A little bit low.
After being down 0-2 to one of the best left-handed pitchers in baseball, he milked the count to 3-2, fouled off a few pitches, and then hit that single and tried to turn it into a double. Great first at bat against Sale.
Changeup.
Upright stance, comfortable, got a little bat wave going in front of him. Can't catch up to that one. Let's check out that hit. Fastball, he challenged him. 3-2. Had he not come off the base with his chest, he would have had him a beautiful double. Great attempt. I think he was called out. Replay man got him.
Very high to center field. Jackson didn't see it right away, but it's hit right at him, and that ends the inning. The Royals get 2 base runners against Sale, but they are scoreless in the 4th and leading 2-1. of Topeka. Russ started a golf tournament to raise funds for a nonprofit organization in the Topeka area, and since its inception over 10 years ago, the golf tournament has raised nearly $100,000 for the club's endeavors associated with helping people with developmental disabilities. Russ Cole is sitting in the Buck O'Neil legacy seat at today's game.
Thank you, Russ. We need people like you to stand up for those who can't speak for themselves.
1-1 on Deanna Navarro. He drove in the White Sox run in the second inning with a base hit in between Hosmer and the first base line, driving in Jose Abreu. One ball, two strikes.
What makes it so hard to hit a ball off of Volquez and square it up is that he's just got 3 pitches that, look at the movement there. That's a 2-foot breaker. That hook is nice. Over the top, hard for the hitter to pick it up. Changeup goes the other direction, and the heater goes the other direction. He's got a little bit of north, south, east, west in him. 4-seamer up. Must have had an eyelash problem there. Little visual impairment.
Of which you are an expert.
Believe it. Great pitch.
4 strikeouts for Volquez. So 1 down in the 5th inning. Remember, you can still share in the World Series victory. Shop the official fan collection for fine jewelry and collectibles. Make sure to check out these exclusive items online at royals.com/fan-rings. Garcia chops it foul. Avisail Garcia was a big out for Volquez in the second inning. White Sox had scored a run, and then they had runners at second and third with 1 out, and Edinson struck out Garcia and got Saladino on a fly out to center. Change up in the dirt. 1-1. Two balls and 1 strike. We told you in the first inning that Edinson Volquez had a great year against the White Sox last year individually. He made 5 starts and his ERA was 1.64. He allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in each of those 5 starts. That's the second best single season for a Royals pitcher against the White Sox. Our late colleague and Royals Hall of Famer Paul Splittorff in 1973 had a 1.13 ERA against Chicago, and that had a little extra meaning because Split was from the Chicago area. Garcia will take a 1-out walk, and that's Volquez's first walk. 1 on, 1 out. Let's go to Joel.
And our Northtown Mazda game break takes us to the Baltimore Orioles at Cleveland. First inning, Mark Trumbo with the bases loaded double, kicks off of the wall, and 3 score as Rajay Davis can't handle that one. And the Orioles right now leading the Indians 5-4. So an Orioles win and a Royals win would put KC in sole possession of first place.
How about that? Thank you, Joel. Last time the Royals were in first place was on April 22nd, so over a month ago. Tyler Saladino flied out to Kane in center field in the second inning. At the knees, 0-1.
Did you see that ball Trumbo hit off of that wall? How far that ball kicked back? It reminds me of the ball Hosmer hit in Oakland. off their back wall, their center field wall. Kicked back almost to the infield. That ball was tattered and battered.
Outside at 95, 1-1 on Tyler Saladino. We've seen more of Saladino at shortstop than we've seen Jimmy Rollins at shortstop. This is game 6 between the two teams, and Rollins has only started 1 game at shortstop.
Well, before the White Sox acquired Rollins, they knew that Saladino was going to be their guy, their main guy. He's young. He's ready for an opportunity to play every day. But then at the end of spring training, they picked up Rollins and then said, you know what? He's going to be a little bit of an insurance for us and play some. He's not going to play every day. So they're splitting that spot with 2 really good big leaguers.
That's to the gap in left center field. Garcia runs well for a big guy, and he's going to be held at third. The throw goes to second base. Saladino ends up with a double, and the White Sox have 2 runners in scoring position with only 1 out.
Didn't barrel it, but didn't have to. Now, if he hits it to the wall and does barrel it, it scores the run. Joe McEwen, excellent White Sox third base coach, knew better. He says, I'm not going to challenge these guys. We got 1 out to work with, or 2 more outs to work with.
Adam Eaton is 2 for 2 against Volquez. He is single to right and single to center. Good fastball at 96 with some late movement. The league average, getting a runner home from third with less than 2 outs, is 50%, and Adam Eaton is below that.
Ned Yost playing his defense back. I mean, not all the way back, but I want to try to. If the ball is hit, it gives the infielders more range to keep that second run Saladino from scoring. That's why they play him back there. And for Eaton, he's got to see this as an easy opportunity to put the ball in play and get 1 run home and to tie it up. I mean, it's not easy, but it is when they're playing their defense that way. He'll go and do a little 2-strike approach here.
Last time Volquez faced runners at second and third and 1 out was in the 2nd inning, and he got out of that by getting a strikeout and then a fly out. While Butera and Volquez talk over the next pitch, we'll tell you that coming up on Friday, some of the world's biggest soccer stars converge on the United States for the 100th anniversary of the Copa America. It all starts as USA takes on Colombia Friday at 7 p.m. on FS1, or you can watch the entire tournament on Fox Sports Go. Eaton steps out as the sun ducks behind a cloud, so it was very bright, and now they're both in the shadows. Another 0-2. That'll get a run home. I think Volquez got a little more of the plate than he wanted to, so the game is tied. That is the first RBI or run scored for Eaton against the Royals this year. Garcia scores. Saladino goes to third.
Oh, that's exactly what the situation called for. And you're right. Edison didn't want to leave it there.
Austin Jackson takes a little bit low. In the most clutch of spots, 2 outs, a runner in scoring position, Austin Jackson has done quite well this year. 1-1. Six years ago, right here on opening day, Austin Jackson got his first major league hit. A double against Robinson Tejeda. And in that same season, he would score 100 runs and finished second for American League Rookie of the Year back in 2010. Never really turned out to be the star caliber player the Tigers thought he might be. A lot of people thought he might be. He had one other season where he scored 100 runs. That was 2012. Tigers kind of went against the grain for many years, and they used him as their leadoff hitter, even though he'd really pile up the strikeouts. Had as many as 181 strikeouts in 1 year. Drew Butera, nice block to keep Saladino at third. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And you just mentioned all the strikeouts. That's one of the reasons why the Tigers went looking elsewhere.
They traded him to Seattle in 2014. And then last year, Seattle traded him to the Cubs. Just foul outside of third base. Jackson hit as many as 16 home runs in a big league season. Well, kids, if you want to sign up for the K Crew, that's what you get right there. Neon Royals jersey, Neon Royals cap, tickets to a game, a stadium tour.
All for a very low price.
Yep. Right center field, Kane in pursuit, and it's going to bounce. Austin Jackson puts the White Sox in front. He comes through again with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. And all this started with a 1-out walk to Garcia.
And Volca is having both hitters down 0-2, and he couldn't finish them off. Kane didn't like his chances of diving for it, just kept it in front of him. It's a big hit there for the White Sox. New game.
Frazier unloads. Behind a fastball at 96, Frazier is grounded to second and struck out.
And not for 1 second here after that run put the White Sox in the lead, are any White Sox players giddy about taking the lead on the Royals?
Popped up. Escobar wants it. And that's the inning. So a 1-out walk. And it's the bottom of the order. Garcia, the number 8 hitter, Saladino, the number 9 hitter, scored 2 to give Chicago the lead. As the Royals go for a 3-game sweep, they are down by 1 coming up in the bottom of the 5th inning. Remember, Royals fans, it's time to vote. You can vote up to 35 times for your Royals online, including a maximum of 5 ballots cast in any 24-hour period. Vote at Royals.com on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. So Chris Sale pitches with the lead for the first time. It was the White Sox 8-9-1-2 hitters who led to the 2-run 5th inning, and the Royals have their 8-9-1 hitters coming up here in the bottom of the 5th.
Sale looks like a totally different pitcher this year than last. Not the same velocity on his fastball, a lot more breakers.
Eaton makes a play in right field. Cuthbert is 0 for 2. Our sprint trivia question for today: who are the only 2 White Sox left-handers to win 20 games since the Royals' first year in 1969? It's a good question.
Mark Burley.
Strike to Drew Butera. I like Mark Burley. Oh, and 2. Butera struck out swinging at a fastball in the 3rd inning. How about Wilson Alvarez?
Ooh.
Did he ever win 20 games?
Oh, that's a good name from the past. Good pitch.
Didn't Wilson Alvarez throw a no-hitter in like his 2nd or 3rd major league start? It was at Baltimore, I think.
He did.
A little bit outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. What about Tommy John?
White Sox.
6 strikeouts for Sale. 2 down in the 5th. Walking around the outfield experience. It's been one of the best additions to Kauffman Stadium since the renovation of 2009. Kids get a little restless. You know, maybe you've had a little too much cotton candy. Need to burn off some energy. Now there's a place to take the kids and not just walk around at the carousel. They can take batting practice. They can run the bases. A little K.
It's a great opportunity for the families, right? And there's a lot of kids out there that are sound sensitive, that you know, have a hard time in the stands with the noise and stuff, and you know, you can take them out and walk them. And now it looks to me like Sale is settling in for sure. A much more higher percentage of curveballs and sliders than we've ever seen. You can almost expect those more than any fastballs.
And that's even though that pitch isn't thrown very hard, boy, it sure breaks a lot. I mean, where that breaking ball starts against Alcides Escobar, way over in the left-hand hitter's batter's box. So try and hit a pitch that's coming in from the side. It's like it's coming in thrown by the first base coach.
It is. It's the sidearm delivery that's so deceptive. And with that pitch, that breaker, you're right. But you know, you can time a guy like that. You can measure him up.
Diving stop at second. High throw. Nice effort by Laurie. Not only did he get to the ball, but unloaded a pretty good throw from just about lying on the grass. Escobar's on with 2 down.
Esky, man, Saladino robbed him his first time up today, and now Laurie, the second baseman's trying to get him. Esky sees the play in front of him. Thankfully, the high throw took some time to get to first, and Esky beat it out.
And it brings up Whit Merrifield, who's had 2 excellent swings against Sale. His first 2 career at bats against Chris Sale. Sale starts him off with a changeup. Whit singled to left in the first inning and scored, and then lined to right and lost a base hit on a diving play by Eaton.
Seems to be locked in. See if Sale can make a mistake on him and see if he can hit his first big league homer. Guys hit the ball hard. He's locked. Gonna come in on him.
A shot caught at third by Frazier. So 3 great swings for Merrifield against Chris Sale. 1 hit, 1 left. 3-2 Chicago at the end of 5. As we go to the top of the 6th inning, a beautiful day in Kansas City. Wow. After all that rain on Thursday and Friday, Denny Matthews joins us as he always does on Sundays. I'll bet because of your 48 years with the Royals, you were asked a few times, had you ever seen anything like that as a Royals broadcaster?
Never a 9th inning like that, right? But a comeback of even a greater deficit, which is pretty amazing.
Of all the winning groups that have come through here, where do the Royals rank as far as thrilling come from behind wins? These Royals.
I'll tell you what, you'd be hard pressed to find another team or another year where they just continually.
Merrifield, nice play. Melky Cabrera diving head first, and Whit Merrifield, who almost just tied the game in the bottom of the 5th inning with a line drive that was caught at third, takes a hit away from Melky Cabrera. That's the 3rd time that Melky Cabrera has grounded out to Merrifield today.
And maybe try another infielder. Great stretch out and a nice recovery throw from the knees. He's got skills, Denny.
Yes, he does. I wonder what his best or natural position is. I have a theory that everybody that's played the game has a position at which they are most comfortable and physically, maybe even mentally and emotionally better suited to play. And people that I've asked about that agree. I'll ask one of the coaches, what was your natural position? He said, well, I always felt better, played better when I played third base or whatever it might be. Could be an interesting question for Whit. I will ask him tomorrow without fail and report back to you.
Now, I've asked Whit, and this is a different answer, or not Whit. I've asked Ned Yost and Dayton Moore, and this is different from asking Whit. But the Royals feel like, as they try and grade him out at each position, that he is best at second base and at the corner outfield spots. But that doesn't answer your question. That's how he's graded out. Where does he feel most comfortable?
I would bet that he will say to me, second base.
Okay.
That's just.
You're on.
That's a guess.
We're going to bet a quarter.
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And now Escobar. Long throw. And a strike to Hosmer. Jose Abreu is the second out.
I started to say before Merrifield's play, the nice defensive play, you'd be hard pressed to find a group in any year that really put together as many comebacks as the Royals last couple of years. I mean, it's just been pretty amazing, don't you think?
Absolutely. But you know, it's in their DNA, especially the last couple of seasons, going to the top of the mountain, coming from behind wins. You know, what they've been doing is Royals baseball.
And there is, and Ryan and I talked about this before the game, there is one component in almost every comeback, no matter how big the deficit. One component, and you know what it is.
Walks.
The base on balls.
Yep.
And if you're seven down, you need some help. You need runners, obviously. Well, if they give you 2 or 3 free runners, they're saying, hey, here's the game. We're not really too crazy about winning it. Let's see if you can win it. And that's what happened yesterday.
And the 2 walks that scored in that 7-run inning yesterday were to Omar Infante and Alcides Escobar, who are hard to walk.
Yes. The 9 and 1 hitters. And the night before, a walk to a number 9 hitter, Dyson, facing a left-handed pitcher. And that was what really set in motion that great comeback Friday night. The base on balls. I mean, you may find some great comebacks through the history of baseball when walks weren't involved, but I bet you 90 to 95% of them are fueled by the base on balls somewhere in that comeback.
The little things, Denny. Lorenzo Cain beating out the double play ball. Yeah. The ball that glanced off Robertson's glove that would have been an game-ending double play.
Fly ball lost in the sun in right field.
Right.
Volquez gets Cabrera, Abreu, and Laurie, and got some help from Whit Merrifield. Is a bad day for a snow cone, but today is a great day for a snow cone. The kids are lined up for one on a warm day out in the outfield experience. And those kids know to vote for the Royals Player of the Month at one of the 7 Rally House locations in the KC metro area. All participants will be entered to win a majestic prize pack. Lorenzo Cain, Eric Hosmer, and KENDRYS Morales middle of the order. For our Sonic Slam inning, our contestant is Tom Skaggs from Clinton. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, Tom wins $200. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Tom wins $25 grand from Sonic And the Kansas City Royals. Lorenzo Cain takes a big breaking ball down and in. Denny Hudd and I have been talking all game about Chris Sale's approach today. We remember firm fastball, hard slider, but I don't remember this many slow breaking balls.
Yeah, I don't either. And they talked about his last outing where he came out against Cleveland throwing about 96, 97 miles an hour. And after the third inning, there was nothing left. His adrenaline, I mean, he was being driven by an adrenaline rush. And all of a sudden, the third inning, he didn't have much. And he was gone shortly thereafter. So he said, throttle back, just take it easy early. Well, the Royals got 2 runs against him, and now it seems as though he's kind of locked in, and that's not exactly good news.
Jackson makes a play in center field. Lorenzo is 1 for 3.
How many times have we heard through the years the great pitchers get them early or you're not going to get them at all?
Yep.
They will lock in, they'll stabilize, and just start dealing. And the Hall of Fame pitchers, you can name one after the other, they were that way. Tom Seaver, I talked to him a long time ago, and he said, if I didn't have my real good gear when the game started, I had a plan B and a plan C. And I think his record, his Hall of Fame career would reflect that.
And it would reflect that most of the time he had plan A working.
Well, yeah, that too. Absolutely.
Eric Hosmer's 2 for 2 with an RBI against Sale. Down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
I was wondering about Chris Sale's mindset when he went to the Hill today after the 2 calamitous games the White Sox played, the last 2 games. Did he have the weight of the world on his shoulders? The Sox, and never mind the last couple of games, they've been slumping. So what was his mindset? Was he just going to go out there and just blow everybody away? Was he going to, what's the old line that you and I love, stay within himself and try to pace things along? So, but 2 in the first and not much from that point.
And the play by Austin Jackson in center field saved at least 1 run, maybe 2. And that was against Kendrys Morales, who bats now with 2 down, nobody on. Morales is 0 for 1. He's also walked. Now, Denny, we want to get some historical perspective from you since you've been here since day one. Our sprint trivia question with Sale pitching well. Who are the only 2 White Sox left-handers to win 20 games since 1969? We'll let you think about that. 2 White Sox left-hand pitchers with 20 wins since 1969. Chris Sale's had a very good day. Orioles baseball is brought to you by Chevy. Visit your local Kansas City area Chevy dealer for great prices on the all-new 2016 Malibu. By Panera Bread, food as it should be, with 24 KC Metro locations. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price, every day. It is a great day to be outside anywhere in Kansas City today. Edinson Volquez goes 6. He gives up 3 runs, 7 hits. He walked 1, but that 1 walk led to the tying run. The White Sox got 2 in the 5th inning, and now a Chevy call to the bullpen. It's Luke Hochevar to face the lower third of the White Sox order in the top of the 7th inning, beginning with Deanna Navarro, who has driven in one of Chicago's runs. He is 1 for 2. Navarro, Garcia, and Saladino.
Hoch coming in is not easy. It's like facing a guy that's was a starting pitcher, and he was, but he's able to harness that energy. He doesn't have 5 pitches anymore. He has 3, and they're all quality, and he's got pinpoint control with all of them. Cutter, 4-seamer, and overhand curve.
That's a fair ball. That's the 2nd time that Navarro has hit one up the right field line. He doesn't run at all, so that will be a single, as it was in the 2nd inning. And the White Sox have their leadoff man on.
You got to watch him, though, Navarro.
How about that jump?
Let him try it again. There was a runner at third base last time. I bet he didn't go.
All right, thinking caps. The only 2 White Sox left-handers to win 20 games in a season since 1969, the first year of the Royals.
Put me down for the knuckleballing lefty Wilbur Wood. How can you not name him when he started both games of a doubleheader on the big league level one time?
Oh, man. Garcia flies out to Paulo Orlando. Garcia is 0 for 2, but he had that walk in the 5th inning that led to the game tying run. Hud?
I mentioned Mark Burley, and if that's not it, I'm going with Britt Burns. That's a lefty from out of nowhere, but he just to see if.
Did you come up with that one on your own?
I did.
Okay.
I remember my agent Steven Greenberg, Hank Greenberg's son, who was my first agent, had him. That was Britt Burns was his biggest client at the time.
That's a nice guess. I'm going to say Wilson Alvarez.
That's a good one.
And if he never won 20 games, Wilson Alvarez, it probably has something to do with Rex Hudler.
That's not the truth.
Man, you wore him out. You remembered during commercial break that you wore out Wilson Alvarez, and Dave Holtzman looked it up, and my goodness. Tyler Saladino. It's a chopper foul. Let's check it out. Jim Cott.
Oh,
darn it.
Man, didn't
even
not
come
think
up with
of him.
Jim Cott.
Good call, Denny. I'm glad we got you up. We got half of it.
Wilbur, 4 times. Maybe he won 2 that one day. Pitched both games of the Twin Bill.
By the way, Hud was 11 for 19 against Wilson Alvarez with 2 doubles and 2 home runs.
Well, what do they say? A blind squirrel finds an acorn once in a while.
Here's the curveball. It's 1-2 on Saladino. He had something to do with the White Sox 2-run 5th inning. He doubled and scored the go-ahead run, driven in by Austin Jackson. Didn't mean to do it. Down to first base coach Darrell Boston, who never played for the Red Sox.
Should have.
Yep.
Reggie Cleveland should have pitched for the Indians too, but he was with Boston. What about Jose Cardinal, St. Louis?
Did he play for the Cardinals?
No.
No.
Should have.
Did Jim or Billy Brewer ever play for Milwaukee?
Either.
No. Almost got him on the knee, or did he? Had made contact. So Saladino is on for a second time, and the White Sox have 2 on with 1 out. Yep, deflected just above his kneecap. You can get closer to the action here at Kauffman Stadium with our Royals Memories program. Choose amongst a variety of unique opportunities, such as a photo on the field, watching batting practice, and delivering the game ball. All experiences are available for purchase each game exclusively through the MLB.com ballpark app. Bunted foul by Adam Eaton.
You know, when you see a batter hit by a pitch, you talk about catchers getting hit by a foul tip, foul balls, and getting hit all over. A lot of times when a batter gets hit, the ball deflects and it hits the catcher. You never think of it, but it happens, and not infrequently. I think that one got a little bit of Butera, but the catcher's certainly prone to getting whacked by a batter getting hit first. It's a tough job.
1-1 on Eaton.
Did you ever want to catch? Huh?
I did. First day ever.
Did you ever want to? I said.
Yes.
Why?
Because you were in every pitch. I loved the action. I loved it. Every pitch I was a part of.
Were you any good?
I would have been, but my mother, she found out. I went home and raved about how much fun I had catching. And she said, son, find another position. You'll never catch again.
Well, how old were you? 6?
I was about probably 7 or 8.
Oh.
Look at Eaton. Why does he want to bunt when he can hit like that?
3rd hit of the day. He had done next to nothing against the Royals this year up until today, and now the bases are loaded with 1 out. And maybe the most productive hitter for the White Sox in this series, Austin Jackson, coming up.
Did you ever want to catch, Rye?
I did, only because I was left-handed.
You wanted to, or you just did?
I never wanted to be a catcher. I think I knew I couldn't be a catcher, but we had a left-handed catcher's glove on my Little League team, and I got to catch 1 inning.
Wow.
And it was really hard.
You know what? The White Sox might have had the last left-handed throwing catcher in the major leagues, Mike Squires.
Okay.
And there was another guy that when I was growing up, I remember was left-handed. He was first baseman primarily. Played for Pittsburgh, Dale Long.
Interesting.
Other than that, I can't think of any big league left-handed catchers.
Time for Hoach to bear down here.
I had a coach tell me once that he was surprised there weren't many left-handed catchers, because on balls out in front of home plate, you're in a much better throwing position to throw to first, where most of the throws go for a catcher. Foul tip, 1 ball, 1 strike. You don't have to go into a full pivot when you want to pick off a runner at first base if you're a left-hand throwing catcher.
Yeah. What are the drawbacks? Not many catcher's gloves.
You don't want a goofy guy behind the plate. I think that's the.
You're intimating that all lefties are. Uh-oh.
Austin Jackson. Paulo Orlando saves a run. Navarro comes down from 3rd on a sac fly, but if that's down for a base hit, that's 2 runs for the White Sox. If it skips past Paulo Orlando with Adam Eaton, the runner at first, that might have been worth 3.
Great jump. He was on it, on contact. Navarro, got to give him some credit for sitting over there at 3rd base, tagging up, saying, hey, look, you know, we are trying to keep the lead against these guys. It won't be easy, but steady as she goes. Great play.
I just saw somebody in the White Sox dugout turn to another coach and say, boy, these guys really play good defense.
That's right.
And now Todd Frazier takes a curveball low. Frazier is 0 for 3 today. He was 0 for 5 yesterday and 1 for 3 on Friday. So 1 hit in the series, but that 1 hit was a home run. 2 balls and no strikes.
This afternoon, not a whole lot of production from the middle of their order. It's guys at the bottom and Adam Eaton at the top.
By the way, Denny Holtze looked it up. Wilbur Wood lost both games of a doubleheader in 1973. Here's that cutter. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Exhaustive research by Holtze. Well, it still didn't take the tarnish off 4 20-game win seasons. Whew.
Saladino's at second. Eaton is at first. 2-2. Royals were down by 4 at the end of 5.5 innings on Friday, and of course they were down by 6 after 4.5 innings yesterday, and hoping to come up in the bottom of the 7th inning down only by 2.
You don't think the White Sox remember that, though, do you?
I think they do.
You do?
I do. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes on Frazier. And you know, getting back to the thrilling finishes, the Royals are doing most of the work, but their reputation now is such that I think when they begin to rally, the opponent helps them out somewhat mentally, because there's the, oh my gosh, here they go again, and I think they begin to play tight and defensive.
Couldn't agree more. And we've seen it pretty consistently over the last couple of years, and part of this year.
Just got a piece of it.
Frazier battling.
You know, look right there showing how Hochevar gets on the side of the baseball. Go ahead.
Yeah, excuse me. I was just going to say, I don't remember, and Hochevar's pitched a lot so far this year. I don't remember a lot of really good swings against him. Do you?
It's because of the movement, command that he has.
Well,
now that wasn't a good swing.
It was impressive, but not a good swing.
No. Point made.
Anytime the bat goes farther than the baseball, that's not very good.
Thanks for allowing me into the TV booth today.
Denny, you're awesome as always, buddy. Pleasure to have you.
Go call us a winner on radio. Seventh inning stretch at Kauffman Stadium. T-Mobile, greater coverage of Major League Baseball. The Minnesota Twins with a record of 14-34, tied with the Braves for the worst record in the major leagues. They've won 3 straight. That includes a win over the Royals on Wednesday. They won their first 2 games in Seattle. They've done well against the West. Their first 3-game winning streak was a sweep over the Angels at Target Field. And their offense has come to life over the last 3 games. The Indians have lost, apparently. So it's a 3-way tie at the moment. The Indians, the Royals, and the White Sox, with the Tigers at 500, and then Minnesota is 12 games back. So whoever wins this game today will have a half-game lead in the Central. Paulo Orlando, Brett Eibner, and Cheslor Cuthbert will face Chris Sale in the bottom of the 7th inning. And as we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Some kind of action here by Drew Butera. How about that? Picking up after his brother Salvador Perez. We're seeing some tremendous defense on both sides. No doubt about it. These guys are playing today like it could be their last. That's the sense of urgency you like. Cuthbert continues to put on a defensive clinic. Escobar wears the gold. Merrifield says, don't forget about me. And Paulo getting some grass stains on that unit. Trevor turf. A little Trevor turf on his uni always goes good with the dive.
And that play by Paulo Orlando in the top half of this inning ended up being a sacrifice fly to score 1 run. But if that ball drops, it's worth 2 runs. If it gets by him, it's probably worth 3 runs. So if the Royals can pull another one out of the fire today, we may be looking back at that play by Paulo Orlando, who taps it right back to Sale. 1 pitch, 1 out. Paulo is 1 for 3 today against Chris Sale. And his next pitch will be number 100. Now, what Chris Sale does in this inning is very important for the White Sox, because if he has a quick inning, Robin Ventura can run him back out there for the 8th, maybe even the 9th. If the Royals give Sale a bad time in this inning and he only goes 7 or maybe starts the 8th, remember their closer David Robertson yesterday in a non-save situation threw 30 pitches. So how deep Sale goes into the game is very important for Chicago.
Could be part of the strategy of hitters in this inning of the Royals if they were aware of all that, and I'm sure they are. See as many pitches as you can. Eibner hasn't had that problem. He's been very selective this afternoon against Sale.
3-0. Sale has walked only 1 in his 6 1/3 innings. Eibner singled, tried to stretch it into a double in the 2nd inning, and was thrown out. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yep, it's in the driver's seat now. 3-0, 3-1. You can expect something of the same, although Sale has been so good with that backdoor breaking ball, you never know what he's going to throw. Got to look heater.
Ooh. Eibner asking, did I swing or was it a called strike? Might have been both.
Looked like it was a little bit up.
Right center field, and that's down for a base hit. Brett Eibner has a 2-hit game.
Sale throwing 3 straight heaters in a row to a hot rookie, and he gets away with a nice little inside out swing. Base hit. Didn't hurt Sale that badly, but good for Eibner. Showing some great plate appearances today against Sale.
How about a hanger here for Cuthbert after 105 pitches? He's seen a lot of breaking balls. Not quite a hanger. That was a changeup.
And a beauty.
He is struck out and flied out to right field. Fastball is tight at 93. It is 1-1.
Haven't seen Sale come inside to righties and bust them off the plate very much. So, you know, that makes the righty a little bit comfortable, and he could kind of. Cuthbert's looking soft, I can tell you.
Kept it down. 2 balls, 1 strike. Chris Sale, if you're wondering, has given up 6 home runs this year in 78 innings. Good swing on a fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Whenever a hitter fouls a ball straight back like that, you're feeling good. You're on him. That's what you're telling yourself. But you know, he threw Eibner 3 straight fastballs in a row. I don't know if he's going to throw another fastball after that swing.
All right, 3-2, and now back to the original thought after the Paulo Orlando ground out. The Royals have Sale at 110 pitches. So the Royals are inching closer and closer to the White Sox bullpen. And what will David Robertson have today, if that's who the Royals see later after all those pitches yesterday? Right off of Ted Barrett's mask, but Ted Barrett used to spar with George Foreman, so I don't even know if he felt that.
He's strong as an ox. You doesn't even budge him. Right there. I mean, that's a kisser shot, and he didn't flinch. Right there on the W.
You might want to check the ball and see how the ball's doing. Still alive.
Doing a nice job. 5 of 7 hits on Sale have been off his fastball. All 3 were in the first.
All 3 hits.
Yeah, 3 hits
in the first inning off of fastballs, and he's really mixed up his pitches since then. Royals can't sit on that Chris Sale fastball. This is pitch number 113. And Cuthbert, boy, he got around on it.
This is a big at bat, and the more pitches you foul off, the more confidence you gain.
Sale has thrown this many pitches only once this year. He threw 120 pitches on May 7th against Minnesota.
Way to stay alive. He wasn't sure if that was going to be called a strike or not, so he just flicked his wrist at it. 10th pitch coming. This is exactly what the Royals wanted. Get that pitch count up so he doesn't come back out and get into their pen to win.
Takes the walk. Huge plate appearance for Cheslor Cuthbert. And that's the end of the line for Chris Sale. So Sale got 1 out on 1 pitch, but Eibner had a long plate appearance. Cuthbert had a long plate appearance, and the Royals are in the White Sox bullpen with 1 out in the 7th inning, we think. 115 pitches. Now Sale had a very short start. Last time out, 89 pitches in 3 1/3 innings, and Robin Ventura is going to stay with him. All right. So it was the fewest pitches that he has thrown in a start this year, Chris Sale, on Tuesday, but 89 pitches in 3 1/3 innings. That is quite a load. So Ventura defers to the veteran Sale and lets him pitch to Drew Butera.
Jackson in center, Cabrera in left, playing deep. Butera choking up on the bat like he did in the 9th inning last night.
Line caught at third. Second time in the last 3 innings that a Royal has hit a bullet to the third baseman Todd Frazier, and now there are 2 down.
He was sitting right on that. Too bad. That ball hooks down the line. That's trouble. Sale having some good defenders behind him today, that's for sure.
Escobar lost a hit on a good play by Saladino in the first inning. He is grounded out twice, and he has an infield single against Sale. He has very good career numbers against Chris Sale. Hasn't done much of that today against right-hand batters. No balls, 1 strike.
Nope. The value of pitching inside the righties is important. And that opens up the outside part of the plate for the back door or his changeup.
Right center field. Austin Jackson is back. That ball carried on him, and Jackson, still a good defensive center fielder, runs it down. So Sale stays in there, but that's probably it for him. The Royals are down by 2 to the 8th inning.
We'll take a look at some scores from around the league as Panera takes us around the league. And busy day of action. New York winning 2-1 over Tampa. Baltimore, as we said, beats Cleveland. Detroit and Oakland just underway. Pelfrey and Hill, Minnesota and Seattle. Twins finally getting a little bit of momentum going. Our Mazda game break, Northtown Mazda game break. No hitter for Jake Odorizzi through 6 1/3. He gives up that 2-run homer. It's the only hit and the only runs on the day. And the Yankees beat the Rays. Tampa coming here for the next 3 games. Guys, I got a left-handed catcher for you. 70s and 80s and 90s. Benny DiStefano. And the only reason why I know that is Dan Duffy, Danny's father, texted me and said that Danny tried to catch in Little League, and the other team's coach said there are no lefty catchers in the majors. So what did Danny do? He looked it up and showed it to him.
Went and found one. Danny right now is doing just fine on the mound.
Sure is.
Chris Young back from the disabled list. He has not pitched since May the 9th, down with a right forearm strain, so his stay on the 15-day DL ended up being 19 days, and the Royals predicted that he wouldn't be out much longer than the 15 days. For now, he'll be pitching out of the bullpen, although Ned Yost said he expects that at some point this season, Chris Young will be making starts again for the Royals. 1-2 on Melky Cabrera. We assume it'll be bullpen against bullpen once the Royals come up in the bottom of the 8th. Our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard, and we'll get back to it, shows us that we are looking at 2 of the best bullpens in the American League. The Royals, their ERA is best in the major leagues. The White Sox are 4th best in the American League, but not in this series. Good start for Chris Young as he gets Melky Cabrera. White Sox bullpen ERA in the first 2 games of the series is 18.56.
Wow.
That would be 5 1/3 innings and 11 runs.
Not good.
Fastball at 88 to Abreu.
White Sox get on a plane after this game. They head to New York City to face the National League champ Mets.
90 with the fastball.
Yeah. Before his injury, he was maxing about 88, 89.
Abreu was out, and that was the odd thing about Chris Young. His velocity was up, but because of the tight forearm, he wasn't getting the late life on his pitches. It's only 2 batters, but it looks like the ball's jumping out of his hand today.
Looks good, as was evident on that strikeout pitch to Melky. That was that invisible ball where it's hard for the hitter to pick it up.
Chris Young was everything the Royals needed him to be last year. Pitching out of the bullpen, however, his earned run average was about 2.5. He was exceptional out of the pen. No balls, 2 strikes.
And believe me, before this is all over this season, he'll play another prominent role. You can count on that. This guy, he's a world champion now, and he understands his role on this team. That's whatever they ask him to do. He's got a lot of pride, and he's got plenty of outs left in that arm. This guy you can count on.
Slider is hit hard right center field. Lorenzo Cain is there, so Chris Young comes back from the DL and gets the White Sox in order. Now the Royals are into the White Sox bullpen, down by 2. Young back. He gets the White Sox in order in the top of the 8th inning. Whit Merrifield will lead off the bottom of the 8th inning, and Whit Merrifield has turned in today's Dodge drives of the game.
Man, you can't be on the ball more than this guy today. Eaton robbed him of a hit there. Frazier robbed him of a hit. See if he can get something started here off of Nate Jones, a hard throwing righty. ERA good. He's been reliable. One of the few here the last few weeks. 2.33 ERA. Opponents only hitting 149 off of him. Good hard straight fastball. Slider and a change.
Royals scored a run against him on Friday night. 1 run, 2 hits in an inning and a third. Whit Merrifield did not face Nate Jones in that game. A tough luck 1 for 3 today. Popped up. Abreu, sunglasses on, and makes the play. This time without running into the railing, and he's telling the people in the dugout suite, that's what I was supposed to do back in the first inning on a pop up from Lorenzo Cain. And Lorenzo Cain, after Abreu didn't catch the pop up, hit an RBI double and scored. Lorenzo's had hardly any trouble at all with Nate Jones. Fastball at 97.
$36,624 here today, and I guarantee you, not many have left.
2-1. It's been a great spring. Just now starting to feel like summer. Had a lot of rain, keeping the grass green, and a lot of mild temperatures. 2-2 on Cain. That'll be out of play. Royals scored 2 runs in the first inning against Chris Sale after that big win yesterday, and they have not scored since. And I still go back to that great play that Austin Jackson made, which turned into a double play in the bottom of the first. Otherwise, that could have been a 3 or a 4 run first inning. And as you said, Hud, that might have been the end of the game if Jackson didn't make that play.
Could have been. You just never know.
Emotionally, at least.
Right.
And Jackson at the plate has driven in 2 runs. Full count with Eric Hosmer on deck.
A runner on is a rally for the Royals this late, especially with Haas coming. Morales.
Well hit into right field. Back goes Adam Eden. Gone. Opposite field home run for Lorenzo Cain.
Straight, firm fastball up. Lorenzo Cain was able to stay on top of it with his top hand and went with the pitch. A beautiful swing by Locaine. There's that patented fallback, and that's woken the crowd up now. Here we go.
Inside to Eric Hosmer. Royals get their first run since the first inning. Cain has driven in 2 of the 3 runs. Nick Kenny says, hey, have a cold glass of water. We might be here for a while. Hosmer, man, Nate Jones wound up like a pitcher, and Eric Hosmer wound up like a pitcher before taking that swing.
He sure loaded his hips up, didn't he?
Hosmer has 2 hits and an RBI. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Haas 0 for 5 in his career against Nate Jones. He's due.
A little bit behind it. 96, 2-2.
So maybe Navarro is doing an outstanding job behind the plate today, by the way. We'll call another heater here. Yeah, you have some success blowing it by a guy, you're going to stay on it and just try to keep it out of the middle if you can. Sir, that's right. On that ball, says official Major League Baseball, Robert D. Manfred Jr., signature, commissioner. That was his one right there. That's what they're trying to reach. Congratulations, folks. You are in the game.
That is a fair ball. Eric Hosmer, he has done it so many times this year. Big swings early in the count, shortening up his swing with 2 strikes, and the tying runs in scoring position with 1 away.
How about that? He's geared for that great fastball, and he's protecting away. And there was a slider. Just a wonderful piece of hitting here. Watch Haas as he's able to, his eyes recognize the location of the pitch. He stops it with his front foot. He's able to keep his head position right there, and a beautiful follow through by just slapping at it. And a great 2-strike approach. Don't get any better than that.
That right there, I think, really flies in the face of the theory that strikeouts are really not that big of a deal. If you're a power hitter, you should always be thinking about power and not shortening up your swing. But if Eric Hosmer took a wild swing, thinking extra base hit on that ball, he probably strikes out, but just by putting bat on ball, he still gets an extra base hit.
Yeah, and Robert Ventura, he's thinking, well, he's thinking a lot right now. He was last night.
You know, I saw Austin Jackson's coming out. I saw Austin Jackson when he made the play on Alcides Escobar for the last out of the 7th inning. It looked like he was limping for the last couple of steps. So we'll see if that was the play, but with Austin Jackson probably sprinting toward right center field on the home run by Kane, that may have re-aggravated some. I thought I noticed this. This is the last out of the 7th inning. Jackson makes the play.
Had a little hitch in his get along.
Yeah.
Carrying that left leg.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, that's not good news for them. And
So-
now the White Sox having some time to hear this crowd get back into the game. They're going, oh no, here they come again.
Jerry Sands will go to right, and Adam Eaton, who was the White Sox center fielder last year, goes back to that position. And now KENDRYS Morales. And isn't it interesting that Morales comes to the plate right before Jackson comes out with an injury? Because the play of the game right now is a play that Jackson made on KENDRYS Morales in the 1st inning. Low. .96 miles an hour. Morales is back in the lineup today. He had missed 3 straight games with a strained right middle finger. Ned Yost originally wanted to give him today off and bring him back tomorrow for the Tampa Bay series, but the Royals need a bat in there. Morales said he was fine. Slider is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jones is not helping himself out at all in this inning by falling behind the hitters. Three and 1. There's 2 pitches in this at bat so far, Hud, that have really given Morales a lot of trouble this year. Pitches that he would swing at down and out of the strike zone.
Right, but he's being more selective now, understanding that first base is open and the righty on deck.
That will be back into the crowd. So it's his bottom hand. If you have a sore finger, bottom hand or top hand going to take more of the load?
Bottom. But he said it really doesn't affect him. So he's had a couple of days off. He feels better now. We'll see. I mean, he's had a couple of good rips. Looks good now if he can just find some outfield grass. Or a fountain would be better.
And that'll be in the crowd.
He's just a tad off of that fastball.
But his timing gets a little bit better with each pitch and each swing, doesn't it?
It does. And what happens is you get a hitter in a swing mode. Now Morales now 3rd swing in a row. Now if he throws that little slider down low, that could be a good pitch for Nate Jones. A walk. That's a wonderful plate appearance there. Morales going to get locked in by seeing more pitches and taking his walks. 2nd of the afternoon for him.
A penny for your thoughts, Robin Ventura. And again, let's go back to the Royals, bottom of the 7th inning. They did not score a run, but they got Chris Sale's pitch count up above 110 and near 120. And the White Sox bullpen, which has now given up 12 runs in this 3-game series in just 5 2/3 innings. If the Royals did not battle Chris Sale in the 7th, it might still be Sale here in the 8th. Line right field. Hosmer hesitated to make sure it was going to drop. So everyone moves up 90 feet.
And at the last at bat, possibly today, he rifles a shot. Now, if Haas breaks on contact like that, he's going to score. But with less than 2 outs, he had to make sure. And the ball was hit so hard that he had no chance after he hesitated, and that's okay. Bases are full. And look who's up.
Dyson, who represents the go-ahead run, will run for Morales. And Brett Eibner, all that time in the minor leagues. Parts of 6 seasons, 1 injury after another. He gets a walk-off hit in his 2nd big league game yesterday, and 1 day later he comes up with the bases loaded, down by 1 in the 8th. And Jones misses outside, ball 1.
Gotta put your money on Eibner here, especially Jones. His biggest weapon is that fastball, but it's straight, and if it's out over, listen to the crowd.
2-0. He must wonder if he's in Kansas City or if he's in fantasy land.
And you almost want to dial 8 right here. It's just too great a story. Bases are loaded. 2-0. Great hitters count. No fastballs coming. Dial 8.
3-0.
Jones starting to feel the heat here.
Three and one, and that was right over the outside edge. Now, if you're Eibner, this next pitch has to be absolutely perfect, right?
Exactly. Now, you would think he'd be nervous, but not anymore. Same situation as yesterday. He's saying, all right, let's just, got to be my pitch. And he did.
Incredible.
Wow, that's great patience there. And Robin Ventura needs some ingestion pill. What do you call those?
Indigestion?
Yeah, antacid. Something like that.
Well, I don't know if it's ingestion or indigestion, but the White Sox have something against the Royals in the later innings, and it's not working. High-speed replays.
Let's take a look at this. Locane reaching back, taking that fastball out for his 7th home run of the season. Paz, a great 2-strike approach, slices it down the line. Morales, patient, 2nd walk of the day. And then Paulo says, I got a hitting streak that's got to continue and help us win. Eibner, I'm telling you, patient, selective, looks like a future beast. Coming through again in consecutive games.
Matt Albers with the bases loaded, 1 out against Cheslor Cuthbert. Now, no matter what Cuthbert does right here, he has a big role in today's game. And if you're looking at your scorecard, you're going, well, what's he done? He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Well, in that 7th inning, when we were talking about how that would dictate what Robin Ventura does in the 8th, he was a 10-pitch walk. Didn't lead to a run, but it ramped up Chris Sale's pitch count, which meant that Robin Ventura had to go to his bullpen and not back to Sale here in the 8th inning.
It's the little things that make the Royals click.
Two and 0. Cheslor has had a good game defensively. He's chipped in there as well.
You better believe it, but look, these rookies, they may be green in the league for the first time, but they're not acting like it. They're up there being selective like a polished veteran, waiting for their pitch. 2-0, Cuthbert could come out of his shoes.
Two and 1.
Just a tad behind Albers, who throws a sinking fastball, 90 to 95 slider and a changeup.
6-pitch at bat first time, and then there it is, that 10-pitch walk in his third plate appearance. The Royals in game 1 of the series scored 2 runs against Albers in 1/3 of an inning. On the ground, right side. Laurie throws it about 10 feet. 1-run home. Play at the plate. And Orlando is out. But the Royals have taken the lead. Gerard Dyson coming down from third. And not a bad play by Paulo Orlando. But Brett Laurie, who made one throw about 10 feet. The second one was on the money to Navarro. And that saved a second run.
Hey, Ned might want to look at this again at the plate. Huh? This is the throw beat him, but I'm not sure Paulo got his hand in there. Look at Laurie. Laurie better off putting that ball in his pocket. Now Paulo, by the time he was able to pick this up, just a tad too late. But let's see the slide. Did he get his hand in there?
He made contact, I think, first. That was Abreu with the throw. I said Laurie. So heads up play by Abreu to go get that ball. Yeah, it looked like he got him on the chest before his hand touched the plate. But the Royals have the lead. Cheslor Cuthbert putting the ball in play. He'll get an RBI with an infield single. Paulo Orlando is out 3-2. And now Drew Butera. He had the game-tying double in the 9th inning yesterday, and now a chance to give Wade Davis a little more insurance. Red Eibner's at second base. Cheslor Cuthbert is at first. The Royals have scored 3 in the bottom of the 8th to take the lead. Outside 2-0.
The Royals pedal to the metal with their athleticism and their speed. As you see, the waiter already loose and ready to go. Ventura again, not feeling very well.
Two and one on Butera. The rally in the 9th inning yesterday started with 1 out. First batter out, then 7 runs. In this inning, the first batter was out. And now the next 6 have reached. Navarro to the screen, and it's back into the second row. Nice play.
Good concentration with no glove. Nice play, sir. That ball's coming back. Navarro thought he had a shot. No, Van has a better opportunity. Nice right-handed grab.
That's got to be a former catcher.
Oh. Skills.
He turned his back to the pitcher's mound, right? Yep. Knowing the backspin on a pop-up like that.
And immediately gave it to the Darling.
Full count on Butera.
Yeah, and you know the Royals, they're just not, they're not satisfied with one here. They want to get another one. Give Davis a little bit of cushion in case the Sox do somehow find a way to mount their own rally.
Butera walks. It's a third walk in the inning. Chris Sale walked 2 in 7 innings. Neither walk came around to score. And now the bullpen has walked 3 in the bottom of the 8th. So this is unusual for the Royals' style of play, plate discipline. The Royals have the fewest walks of any offense in the American League, and you sure wouldn't know that by watching this series. So the 9th man to come up is Escobar, and he hits a little pop-up, shallow left center field. 3 White Sox in pursuit, and Eaton coming up from center field makes a play. But once again in the late innings, the Royals knocked down the White Sox bullpen. It all started with an opposite field home run from Lorenzo Cain. with a Lorenzo Cain home run. Brett Eibner walked with the bases loaded to tie the game, and then Cheslor Cuthbert picked up an infield single to put the Royals in front. The bullpen comparison is no comparison. The White Sox bullpen, which has taken some big strides overall this year, has given up 14 runs in 6 1/3 in this series, while the Royals bullpen has given up 1 run in 7 2/3, and now the baton is handed to Wade Davis.
No pin, no win for the White Sox. Wader, 4-seam fastball, overhand curve, and an excellent cutter.
Not sure who asked for time there. Deanna Navarro, Avisail Garcia, Tyler Saladino, the lower third of the order. Cutter is inside, and that lower third has had a good day. Wade Davis, 13 out of 14 in save opportunities, with a tiny 1.02 ERA. 1-1. Former teammates with the Rays matching up here to begin the 9th inning.
Yeah, Navarro, he's not an easy out. He came into this series in this game hitting just .225, but he's a tough out.
One and two. Butera wanted a curveball. Lifted to left field, right at Eibner. That's his first chance as a big leaguer. One down in the top of the 9th inning. Coming up after the game, it's Boulevard Royals Live. And just like yesterday, we set it up by saying there was a lot to talk about today. The Royals are working on yet another late inning comeback against the White Sox. The White Sox had a 4-run lead in game 1. They had a 6-run lead yesterday, and today a 2-run lead, and now they're 2 outs away from getting swept. Avisail Garcia 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored, and Davis's cutter is high for ball 1.
Well, if yesterday's defeat for the White Sox was demoralizing, what would this one do?
Challenged him with a fastball at 96. The Royals have won 5 straight series. The White Sox have lost 6 straight series. They are on the edge of a 6-game losing streak. And on the edge of being swept by the Royals. Two and one. Three balls and 1 strike.
Make him earn it. No free rides.
Right on the edge. Garcia's unhappy. Sorta on the edge.
Oh well. Big guy like him, he can reach that pitch.
Cutter grounded out to Escobar. 2 down. 36,624. The Royals already have the best record at home in the American League at 15-7. And the fans who have been here, the fans who have been watching on television, listening on radio, have witnessed 3 thrilling games with the Chicago White Sox. 1 out away from a sweep, and it's ball 1 to Tyler Saladino. In the 7th inning or later, Royals against the White Sox this year, and this is game 6, or in this series. In the 7th inning or later, the Royals have outscored the White Sox 15-1.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's pouring it on at the end of a game, and a characteristic that really has carried these Royals. Going back to 2014, last season, and now here, it's still there. Makes them dangerous. They know they're in every game.
2-1 on Saladino. Right by him.
Whew, man, that's some 95 on the outside part of the plate that had some boring down action. Finish him.
Royals had a 4-run 7th on Friday, a 7-run 9th yesterday, and a 3-run 8th today. Saladino fighting for his life, fouls it into the netting. Good spot. Good take by Saladino. How does he lay off that pitch?
I don't know.
He didn't even flinch. Maybe he was locked up. Adam Eaton is on deck. Game over. It's a thrilling 3-game sweep for the first place Kansas City Royals.
You just can't leave the house here at the K. You're going to see something. We know that. We just didn't know when, and these fans had an idea. It could happen late, and it was great. White Sox. They got to go. And for the waiter, check, please. See you, and it wouldn't want to be you. White Sox.
Royals have now won 12 of their last 17 games. They are 5-1 against the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox have now lost 6 in a row and 14 of their last 18. So 2 teams headed in opposite directions, and in thrilling fashion, Ned Yost and the Royals sweep the series. Ned is now 5 wins away from 500 in his Royals career. And of all the thrills the Royals have piled up over the last 3 years, especially during the regular season, this is right at the top of the list. Let's go down to the field, and here's Joel.
Well, I'm joined right now by Lorenzo Cain, who I think wanted to give a lot of the credit to Cheslor Cuthbert, and we'll talk about him in a moment. But what is it about the mentality of this team, and is it contagious the way you guys were able to outscore the White Sox 15-1 from the 7th inning on the series? Let me get those sunglasses. Anyway, that's got to feel good on a warm day. Lorenzo, what is it about this weekend and the late inning pushes?
It's that never die attitude. So it's got to keep it going, keep playing the way we've been playing, and continue to find ways to come back and win ball games like today.
How about the mentality in this one of trying to be able to get Chris Sale out of the game? You know how good he is, and how much did young guys like Cheslor Cuthbert and Brad Eibner with their at-bats in the 7th inning have to do with that?
It was huge. we have a lot of injuries right now, but the young guys are stepping up in a huge way, and I'm happy to have them. They've been doing a great job.
All right, for you, double against Sale, you know there aren't going to be a lot of opportunities, and then the homer late too. Tell me about your day at the plate and how you're seeing the ball.
Just going for that line drive hitter, trying to put something in play, and hopefully it falls. And just trying to step up when guys are on base and find ways to come through in the clutch.
Great job today. We'll see you back here tomorrow night against Tampa.
All right, thanks for having me.
Lorenzo Cain, part of a big day once again for the Royals. Late inning heroics. We'll talk about it all coming up.
What a weekend. And to think it all started with a rain out. How about it? There's no raining on this parade. The Royals are back in first place after a 3-game sweep over the White Sox. We'll be right back.